Do you know the differences between a filet mignon and a ribeye? Selecting the right steak can be confusing and overwhelming. Let me help you identify the various steak cuts and some of the differences in tenderness, flavor, and even texture. Hi, I'm Beth Allison Kaplan, nutrition consultant, chef, and co-owner of Blackwing Quality Meats. Let's start with the most tender cut, the tenderloin, or often listed on a menu as the filet mignon. This cut is typically served as a 6 or 8 ounce filet. This filet is not the most flavorful cut, but definitely the most tender. Therefore, the texture is soft and should eat like butter. Next is a ribeye, and sometimes referred to as a Delmonico steak. When served with a bone-in, might be called a bone-in ribeye, tomahawk, or even cowboy steak. This cut is also very tender, but also has an eye of fat, which makes it very flavorful. The strip loin strip steak or New York strip steak are all of the same cut, very flavorful, but not as tender as the tenderloin or ribeye. Usually this cut is prepared with a 1/4 inch strip of fat on one side of the steak. When prepared with the bone in it, might be called a Kansas City strip steak. The sirloin steak, taken from the top butt muscle, is flavorful but not as tender as the ribeye or tenderloin, but closer to a strip loin or strip steak in tenderness. Usually this steak is offered as a center cut steak because the top butt muscle grain run in several different directions which can affect the tenderness. All 4 of these muscles can be cooked, grilled at a high heat for a shorter time period. To recap, the 4 most popular steaks in order of tenderness are the tenderloin, the ribeye, strip loin, and sirloin. Now let's talk about combination cuts, the porterhouse and T-bone. The porterhouse is a creme de la creme, combining the tenderloin, ribeye, and strip loin with a bone. That's fabulous. The T-bone steak is also a bone-in steak with a tenderloin and ribeye combination. Finally, there is the flank, skirt, flat iron, and round steaks. The flank and skirt steaks will have plenty of flavor, but be prepared to use your teeth. The thinner the slice, the easier they are to chew. There are a variety of uses from fajitas to steak sandwiches for these cuts. To prevent toughness, these steaks need to be cooked at a lower heat for a longer period of time. The flat iron comes from the shoulder clod muscle and is little labor intensive to produce, but flavorful and tender. It was created to obtain more values from the shoulder clod muscle, which were excellent grinding muscles. Last is a round steak, which needs to be cooked slow and at a low temperature to maintain tenderness. Don't expect to see a round steak served at a 4 or 5-star restaurant. The round steak is usually taken from the inside round, which is many a time used at a carving station for making roast beef. The bottom round is used often for Philly steak sandwiches. Now that you're educated of the various steak cuts, a restaurant menu will not intimidate you again. Thank you for tuning in, and come back for other tutorials, insights, tips, and ways to savor and save when it comes to cuts of beef. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and share it.